Hi, how are you today? This is Jilly Bling. I have a project that you might recognize from a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago I did a Gotta Have It box using Blessings of Home, so I did 5 different designs. And this design, everyone really seemed to like it. And even the views on YouTube are higher than normal, and everyone kept on commenting, remember that one? So I want to do this as an August project. So it's kind of a repeat. So you might have already seen it before, but there's a few subtle differences. The word label is different and the background folder is different. And then on today's project, the coloring is really different. I don't know if you could see, you can't see all these colors. I have a whole bunch of colors pulled out using quite a few of the new ones, and there's quite a few bright ones. So this one I did for my friends who love purple. It's pretty much purple and white and a little bit of green. Okay, so those are the 2 samples. Brushed brass butterflies. I always complain that they're too expensive. I shouldn't use them. It's too much. But you know, I keep using them over and over. So Blessings of Home is what this card is pretty much all about. I love the words in it. And Celebrating You, just if you need an alternate phrase or greeting, this is a really great set. And then of course, Flowers of Home to cut out this beautiful bouquet. Okay. So we have to do a little bit of scoring because you notice this is a fun fold. It's not just folded in half. Okay, keep those nearby. So here is my scoring template. So you cut the paper just in half, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and then you score it at 1.5 and 5 3/4. So we'll do that right now. And, okay, we'll be using all this stuff. Just a minute. Okay, so paper cut in half, and I'm going to score it at 1.5 right here, and I'm looking right against that. 1.5, and then 5 3/4. So that's the hardest part of the whole project, and that was easy. So let's fold this in and check your folds like these are overlapping slightly. So if it overlaps slightly, first try, just flip it over to the other side, because sometimes that's all it takes. And it's still overlapping just a little bit. So I'm just going to choose one of these sides and just kind of push it back a little bit. So this is kind of bowed right here, but I'm just going to kind of alter where the score line is. And now I'm doing the same on this side, because this right here is just a little bit bowed. And now guess what? It fits perfectly. Okay, so there's the card base. And what are all these other papers? We'll use the embossing folder in just a minute. These are inside papers. Tuck them inside. And this is for the flower. These go right here. This is for the words, and then these go here. And that's all that's to it for this card. It's really quite easy. I think it's just the coloring, and yeah, this one does take coloring, but some of you have said, you know, don't assume I put these papers into the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. Some of you have said, you know, some of us do like coloring, and I do like coloring, so I know what you mean. Some of these, I'm looking at the leaf pattern, and I think the leaf should be going upward. Okay, just like that. So let's conquer that, because that will be quite easy. I'm going to use liquid glue just because there's so much texture from the embossing folder. And I'm afraid my tape runner won't get it stuck good enough. And when you're putting your white paper onto your black and your black paper onto your soft succulent, I did my best to cut it straight. And they're straight, but it's not, I'd say it's 99.8% cut good. I'll show you what I mean. It's like when you're talking 1/16 of an inch, it's easy to go wrong. But I'm hoping I didn't. I'll show you what I mean here. Look at that. Isn't that something layered with a layer of black? It's just, it's so pretty. Okay, this will go right on here. Oop, not quite straight. Okay, so that looks good on there. And put it onto the card front. This I could use regular adhesive, but I'm on a roll. So what I was talking about cutting straight, I did cut straight, but I could see that this border is a little bit smaller, like just a micro smaller. So it's not exactly perfect. It's almost impossible to be exactly perfect, but once you put your beautiful flower on it, it will be just fine. And if I show you the samples again, I could point out that my layering isn't perfect, but all you see is the pretty flower. Especially on today's, I'm going to use some of the new ink colors. Parakeet Party, my favorite. You're like, how are you going to mix Parakeet Party with soft succulent? I don't know, but it works. Maybe because I like it so much. I don't know. Okay, so there, the card is on its way to being done. Okay, let's do words. Words are going to be done in Versamark and then into white powder. So let's make this a happy birthday one from Celebrating You. Let's use this happy birthday. We all need happy birthday cards in our little collection of when I need it, I need it. Happy birthday. Don't you love my pad? Isn't it beautiful? This is probably like 10 years old. But it works just fine. Don't you love my paper? All these different languages. You know when you get like a medical summary and they give you that paper that has all those extra languages to say the same thing? This is telling us that Emma's having her birthday, her 26th birthday. They will not cover her with insurance. But she was already taken off because she was in the Navy. Okay. Need to heat that. So there's only 2 dies. The one for the flowers, we'll use that in just a minute. And this one, which is from Nature's Prints. I love this little word label cut out. Doesn't that fit perfectly? Fits perfectly for a lot of things. Okay, there it is. And any little dots white on black. Discovered I could do this a month ago. And it was such an enlightening moment. It was, oh my gosh, after 24 years, and I never thought about that. Perfect. So we could put this on, it goes right in the middle, and a little bit lower than you think. Notice how there's just a little bit of white, and that's because the flower, it's kind of big. I like how it drifts into this area, but look at it at the top. Kind of big. Okay, so dimensionals. And I'm going to hold on to it where I do not want dimensionals, right here. This is a new sheet of dimensionals. That's like clean sheets. Nothing like it. Okay, so right in the middle, a little bit lower than I would normally do it. Okay, and I'm looking at the connection. I think I could do like an additional little one. Right there. Okay, it's held on really good. Okay, you can see it coming together, huh? Let's do the flower. So this is paper for the flower. We're going to stamp it in Memento. Flower, flower. Here's the big flower. Isn't that just beautiful? I want to get the center. All those little flower centers. Okay. You know, sometimes it's hard to see. Look at that. Now I'll know where to stamp. White on white, it's hard. Okay, should be good. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and since I have the ink out, I'm going to stamp my words on the inside for going with happy birthday. My favorite ones in this Blessing of Home set, you are a real blessing to everyone around you. That's just so nice. So do it right in the middle at the top. And I think I did it crooked. Does that look crooked? It looks crooked. I seem to be doing that a lot today. That's better. And then this one, and this is in Blessings of Home too. Isn't that pretty? Stampin' Up does such good work. Okay, I think we're done stamping. Okay, so we have this and this. And you know, if you were just to cut this out, put this on the inside, attach this, and decorate it with the butterflies, you would pretty much be done other than the coloring. And not that I'm encouraging you to do this, because I created a monster. I have a whole box of cards that are completely done, but I need to color. And if ever I go on a trip, excuse me, like a road trip, I'm going to be doing coloring. Or Diane, who just found out she has a broken bone in her foot and she's going to have it, no weight on it for weeks or months. She's like, I'm going to be doing coloring. If she had a box of these to color, be good. Okay, so cut this out. Excuse me. And what do you think? I know the colors are bright. I know I went crazy. But I woke up this morning in a bright color day. And isn't that just beautiful? How should it go? Can't go upside down. I'm thinking just like that. And I like these draping over. Okay, and I partially colored, I'm going to stick this on. I partially colored the inside, but not all of it. Okay, I'm going to hold it where I do not want dimensionals, right up here. So, when we go back and you look at the samples, you're like, the pastel one, that's pretty. This one, you're a little bit crazy. But I'm wondering if, from across the room, I know, too many dimensionals. From across the room, if you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, I love that one. You never know. A little bit of liquid glue on these tips because they're going to stick on the happy birthday words. Okay. So I'm trying to get it right in the middle. So that amount equals that. Okay, and let's see if I can add some more. Uh-oh. I have dimensionals. I have glue everywhere. Woo. Here, don't tell anyone. That'll dry fast. Should I lift it up? Is it off? No, it looks good. Okay, these dimensionals, they need to be redone. Okay, so this one. So this video is showing you what to do when you do a whoops. It can always be fixed. That's what's great about our hobby. It can be fixed. There, now the dimensionals are hiding. The glue is now trying to restick. Okay, looks good. And let's decorate it a bit with 2 butterflies. A big one and a little one. And then 3 pearls. And I'll do some in each size. Small, medium, large. Small. Right there. Okay. So for the inside, it's time to color it. Did I catch an edge? No. So it can be all attached, and you can go back and color it when you're in your recliner watching those silly reality TV shows or your favorite binge show. You could be listening and doing some coloring. It seems like it's kind of popping up a little. So pretty. Okay, so for the coloring, wait till I pull these colors and you'll be like, you're crazy, because there's a lot of them. There. Look at all of those. I think there's 16 colors. And if there's less colors, such as petal and succulent with a hint of yellow, it's a little bit calmer and it's very peaceful. This one again is just white flowers, purple flowers, and green leaves. That one's calmer. But if you wake up in a fluorescent mood, that one is stunning. I love it. but however you want to color is fine. Okay, so the big flower is Pool Party and Crumb Cake. Pool Party. And I'm just doing it wherever these shadow lines are, but definitely around the flower center. How am I going to do that one? I'll do that one at the papaya. Okay, so just one white. And then the color lifter to kind of soften it up a little bit. And on all of the sample cards, let me get that Pool Party out of there. When I was coloring them, I was always trying to leave a white border. So on this one, see how there's the freesia dark, freesia light, and then there's the white border on all of the flowers. I was trying to do that. And even these in here. And then when it came to doing the leaves, the color on the leaves went all the way out, filling the whole leaf stamp. But that kind of gives it a pastel look too. So this one is papaya, and I'm just going wherever the line art, the shadows are implied. And then papaya light, and this is to bridge between the dark and then leaving the little white border. Okay, and then color lifter, and that's just to soften up between the papaya light and the white, just to make it real graduated and blended and smooth. Okay, then let's see, what color did I do the flower centers? Crumb Cake and Suede, and they're very similar. The Crumb Cake is a little bit in the bluer, cooler tones, and the Suede is a little bit more yellow. So I'm just doing Crumb Cake light, then Crumb Cake dark to fill in some of the details, just along the edges in a few spots, because the stamp makes it look like it's kind of lumpy. Then the same with the Suede. Suede dark, Suede light. Okay, so those flowers are done. So now I'm going to do the succulent leaves, and I'll color it the whole 100% of the leaf. And I'm not going to worry too much about the blending on this. So that's succulent dark. This one is succulent light, and I'll just fill in the rest of the leaf. And then wherever the seam is between the light and the dark, I'll just do one pass over the top of it. So just kind of soften up the dark to the light. Okay, so that is it. Oops, one more. That's it for this card. So it's just coloring. If you like coloring, Gail, this is for you. If you don't like coloring, The other project is another floral card, no coloring. Okay, so there it is. What do you think? Okay, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.